that would govern you deviating from your calendar, the true emergency, is something that involves blood and broken bones. So unless there's blood or broken bones, you stick to your calendar. You obey your calendar like your life depends on it, because it does. Hello and welcome back to the 8-Figure Dentist podcast. And I'm your host, Dr. Jana Konovalenko. Today is part 3 of my series on how to deal with overwhelm and crazy busy schedule. And today we're going to talk all about what to do with interruptions. If you haven't caught the first 2 parts, I taught you what to do if you have a pressing fire right now. You have something crazy going on that just keeps you up at night at 2 a.m. And I taught you how to separate math from drama, how to nip that problem in the butt right now, and what to do, an activity afterwards that will help you feel so much lighter and give you an instant relief from all the things that are happening in your day-to-day, called the to-do download. So if you haven't listened to that episode, go back and listen to it. It's episode number 96. And then episode number 97, I taught you all about my scheduling system. And we're not just talking about calendars, because if you don't implement them, they don't actually work, but a specific system that helps you realistically assess how much you have going on and whether you've overcommitted yourself, clean up your schedule, and set your priorities. And today we're going to talk about what do you do next. You have prioritized your calendar. You know what needs to get done this week, next month. And there's a lot of things going on, but you're feeling more in control. You feel like your day-to-day things have been plugged in, and as long as nobody interrupts you, you can actually have a good day. So let's talk about interruptions. What do you do when emergencies happen? What do you do when you are leaving for work and your spouse wants to chat with you, or wants you to make this phone call, or you come to your practice and you want to focus on the admin, but your team keeps knocking on your door and they have questions, or sometimes they just want to vent, and that's even more frustrating because you worked so hard to create this beautiful schedule and be organized, and now it seems like people are just stumping all over your carefully crafted week, and it hurts. Always taught me that the true emergency that would govern you deviating from your calendar, the true emergency, is something that involves blood and broken bones. So unless there's blood or broken bones, you stick to your calendar. You obey your calendar like your life depends on it, because it does. I am a little bit less, extreme about it, if that's the right word. So here's how I deal with interruptions. As somebody who is a mama of 4 very young children, ages 4 and under, and we don't have families, so we rely on childcare. My children are not in preschool or daycare, they're at home. And so I rely on myself, my husband, or the nanny, and people get sick, people come late, things happen. And so I have to pivot constantly. I have interruptions all the time. And so here's what I want to teach you when it comes to interruptions. Number 1 is, first of all, the biggest interruption that you're going to have from your calendar is actually your own brain. Here's what I mean by that. You will sit down to do what your calendar says to do at 9 a.m. and just prepare that for sure you're not going to want to do what the calendar says. For sure. Like, that's, nothing has gone wrong with you. You're not lazy. It's the way brains are. They don't like to make decisions ahead of time. They don't like to be disciplined and do what's required in the moment. So your brain's going to throw a fit, and it's sneaky because you're smart. So it's going to tell you, oh, that's actually not a priority. It's going to tell you we have this really important thing, and that's what's going to make all the money, and that's what's going to make all the difference, and that's what we need to focus on right now. Your brain's going to be real sneaky about it. So be on it and gently redirect it back to, okay, we will work on that. Here's when, put it on your calendar. But right now we're focusing on this thing because we made that decision ahead of time. You're making decisions ahead of time with your prefrontal cortex that has your best interest in mind. And the minute your amygdala kicks in, you're making more impulsive decisions. So they are never in your best interest, almost never. So obviously treat it with discernment, but just know that you're going to come up against your own brain, and that's going to be your biggest interrupter. Next is a concept that I teach my clients called the B- work, and doing it messy. I also learned it from Brooke Castillo. And what that means is often on your calendar, you're not going to have enough time to complete the entire project. And if you're in a busy season right now, like me, working 3 jobs, 2 businesses, 3 kids, you may be in a similar situation, a new house, we're renovating. There's a lot of moving parts. And so acknowledge that you're in this season and things are going to look messy right now, and that's okay. And messy but done is better than perfect but never finished. So I just want you to start practicing doing things and not finishing them, and be okay with feeling incomplete and feeling like you're not fully fulfilled with this task. You are making progress. Okay. Another thing, let's talk about interruptions from other people, right? So these first 2 interruptions are going to come from your own brain, and they're the biggest one: the people pleasing, the not wanting to do what's in front of you. Another one are other people interrupting you, right? And this is where originally my coach taught me that, that doesn't matter, unless there's blood or broken bones, stick to your calendar. I look at it a little bit differently. So when it comes to other people, I want you to recognize that other people's emergency is not your emergency. Okay. So make a choice there. Their emergency, they want you immediately to do something. That doesn't mean that you need to run and do that. That's your people pleasing kicking in. And so you want to notice this and you want to make some decisions about it. But I want you to start moving away from this knee-jerk reaction. Oh, somebody needs me, I'm just going to run and do that. And we do this often when we're in the survival mode. There's a lot going on and you're in a little bit of a fight or flight mode. And so anybody talking to you almost like triggers you. Okay, I'm going to run there, I'm going to run there. And so we're very reactive. And if you find yourself there, it could be that your nervous system needs some regulation. That's okay. I've definitely been there. But as you settle into hopefully more calm presence, I want you to remind yourself that other people's emergency is not my emergency. So I can make it my emergency, but I don't have to. You have a choice in it. And that beautifully leads to my second point of choices. If you choose to spend time with your kids instead of working, if you choose to respond to a phone call when your calendar says checking emails, it is okay. It is okay. What I want you to do is I want you to, 1, recognize that it's a choice and you're deviated from your calendar. You don't have to. You can tell them no, but you choose to. Not that you have no choice. Not that they interrupted me and this sucks and I have to get all frustrated and resentful. No, it is your choice, but I want you to remove the judgment from your choice. Here's what I mean by that. A lot of the time we're making choices. We're always making choices. We're just not recognizing them. But a lot of the time we're making choices and then we're beating ourselves up for that choice. There's judgment. Oh, I should be doing this. I should be focusing on work. And I want you to change that self-talk. I want you to acknowledge it is my choice. I'm choosing to be with my kids right now. And I love that choice because I'm a good mom, because I'm a good parent. And this is really important for me. My practice is also very important, but my children are my priority. And so I'm choosing them right now. Remove that self-judgment. Stop beating yourself up for not sticking to your calendar. But say it what it is. It's a choice you're making. I'm making a choice to be available right now for my team because I want them to know that I have an open door policy. And as you keep telling yourself, I'm making this choice, at some point you may choose to make a different choice. You might decide, you know what? I'm noticing that my team has become dependent on me, and I want them to be more independent and more autonomous and make more decisions on their own. So I'm actually going to focus on creating more SOPs and holding them accountable so that they can execute without me. And that's better for their growth anyway. And so I'm going to start saying no to interruptions. I'm going to have some office hours for them to chat with me. But this time I'm going to maintain as my protected time to do my emails, to do my clean checks, to do my admin work, whatever that you're doing. So start naming these things as choices and don't beat yourself up for making these choices. Something insane is going to happen. When you truly start doing this, you will remove that negative, heavy whale that's on top of you right now that's just pushing you down. Ooh, again, we did this. Again, we're such a pushover. Again, we ate this. Again, we didn't work out. When you remove that dark cloud over your head and you just see your choices and the consequences of them just as a logical chain, it'll be a lot easier for you to break it and make a different choice. Because now you're not making it mean anything negative about yourself. It's not going to feel as heavy. When things are lighter, it's a lot easier to change them. So let's summarize what I taught you in this episode is what to do with interruptions. So hopefully by now you are brain dumping all of your to-do list on one piece of paper for 20 minutes and you're offloading everything from your brain on the piece of paper every single week. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Do that. Grab all the little sticky notes that you have, put it all on the piece of paper. It could be multiple pieces of paper. That's fine, but it needs to be in front of you. Next, you're going to prioritize. You're going to look in this list and either with different colors or you can take a pen and make a different shapes. Like, for example, urgent things that need to get done in 24 hours is a star. Then things that need to get done this week is a circle. Things that need to get done this month is a triangle. Things that are just important overall is, a square, like things like that. Start prioritizing, like cleaning up your to-do list, and then put everything on the calendar. So everything from your list needs to have a date and time attached to it. Okay, it needs to have home. I need to be able to call you and say, hey, when are you working on this project? And you will tell me Thursday at 3:30 p.m. So that's your second step. And then the third step is our interruptions. Remember that your brain is going to be your biggest enemy when it comes to interruptions, because when you sit down and you look at your calendar, for sure, you're not going to want to do what you decided ahead of time. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You have a perfectly healthy human brain, but you are going to have to parent yourself. You're going to have to learn to develop more discipline so that you can follow through on that calendar. People ask me all the time, but how do I take action? How do I actually do what's on my calendar? How do you take action? How do you get up from this chair? Brooke always told us, how do you get up from this chair? You get up. You can think about it, you can talk about this, or you can just lift your butt and start moving. That's how you take action. And so like I said, your brain is going to be your biggest interrupter when it comes to focus or when it comes to cleverly trying to shift your attention to other things and make it very important. Returning back to what's on your calendar. And when it comes to other people, their emergencies are not your emergency, but you can choose, you can make a choice to deviate from a calendar, but see it as a choice and don't beat yourself up for it. You will then, of course, have to reshuffle your schedule. You have to move some things, postpone some things, again, reprioritize, make an executive decision. You're the CEO of your life. Nobody can tell you how to live it. But I highly suggest that you stop beating yourself up for your choices, and then it's going to be so much easier for you to change them. I hope this was really helpful, and this short series have helped you lower the overwhelm. Apply this work. Do not just listen to this like an intellectual exercise. Change happens when you apply this. So apply this, and if you need help, as always, reach out to me, either email me, or the best way to connect with me is either on Facebook or Instagram. Just send me a message at the 8-Figure Dentist on Instagram, or just my name on Facebook. And I will help you move from there. All right, my friends, have a wonderful day, and I will see you in all the places. Bye.